Hello everyone. I hope you all have seen the last lecture of Descartes in which we studied about cogito ergo sum, that is, I think, therefore I am. Cogito means the act of thinking, ergo means therefore, and it's cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. That's how it counts. You can also see it like, you can, ask yourself a question. Do I exist? Ask yourself, do you exist? Your answer will be that I think I exist. So who is thinking? Then answer to that will be that me. I'm the one that is thinking. So that means that you exist, right? That means me exists. The word me exists. So this is sure that you exist. This is because if you're going to say that I don't exist, then there will be a self-contradiction. We even talked about that negating the I is a self-contradiction. So we talked about the self-contradiction. We talked about cogito ergo sum. We also talked about one very important concept. We talked about how part cannot be bigger than the whole. Now this concept, if you remember, now we are going to build up on that only. Part cannot be bigger than whole. But my finite mind, this finite mind, it is thinking about this omnipresent, omniscient, great God that is perfect in every single sense. How is this finite mind able to think that much? How is this finite mind able to think the infinite? Part cannot be bigger than whole. How is it happening? So the answer to it is that these are the things that are innate within us. If you remember, we talked about innate ideas are the ones that are present from the birth. They are there from the birth. And who has put them in it? Who has put them in us? Who has put them in our soul? The answer to that is God. God is the one that has put all those ideas in our soul, and that is the reason a finite mind is able to think of this infinite God. I want you to understand the God, Descartes has called him a substance. Substance means something that is absolute substance actually. It is self-dependent. It is not dependent on anyone for its existence, and it can take any quality as its own. There are two more substances of Descartes. One is mind and the other is body. Both of these are actually relative. They are relative substances, not related to each other. They are independent of each other, but dependent on the God, connected to the God. Now, how are they independent of each other but connected to God? There comes a theory of body-mind dualism that Descartes gave. That body and the mind, they're two different things. Body is a matter. Mind is made up of something very subtle. He said that they are both parallel. They work parallelly. The theory is also called parallelism. That is the reason the theory is also called parallelism. Again, but they must interact somewhere, right? Because, as I said, sitting in the class, mind is somewhere, so many diseases are connected to the body. They must interact somewhere. So Descartes had to give an answer to that. And the answer to it was that both these interact in the pineal gland. Yes, a very psychological answer that both of these interact in the pineal gland. And who helps them in the interaction? God helps them in the interaction. So this is his theory. And now we didn't talk about the form. What is the form of God? You must be really willing to know that, how is Descartes' God? Descartes' God is like a circle. We don't know from where it starts and from where it ends. It's an ongoing circle, infinite circle. And another thing is that Descartes said that his God is formless. Because if you're going to give a form to the God, for example, if you're going to say that God is blue, like in Hinduism, we say Krishna is blue. So you're giving a form to the God. Are other colors bad? If you're going to say that God is a man, like in Christianity, Why can't women be a god? It's a big controversy, big debate. And as a woman, I shouldn't be the one saying it. But yeah, church hates him because he said that he believes in a formless God. That's her takeaway. Also, he said that plants and animals do not have a soul. Humans are the only ones that have a soul. Plants and animals are like machines. You tell them something, they're going to work on that. You're going to give water, you're going to give sunlight to the plant, they're going to work on that. According to him, animals and the plants are not the ones that can suffer. It is only human that suffers. Obviously, Darwin came in the later stages, and Darwin kind of disproved him by giving the evolutionary theory, how exactly animals, we all were somewhere monkeys in his theory. So yeah, he said that, you can't say that animals don't feel pain or they don't have a soul. So things did change after Darwin came, but till the time of Darwin, Descartes' theory was also considered to be true, and a lot of cruelty was done against animals. Another thing, we talked about parallelism, we talked about how both of these interact in the pineal gland. So in this way, he kind of went against the church. He had the strength that he went against the church. He gave a new life to the philosophy, Descartes. But somewhere he had to believe in God, because otherwise he would have been killed, like Socrates. He said that body and mind are two different things. This was a very important thing that he said that will be discussed further in our studies. Next thing that he said, the clear thought process, the fact that he talked about the clear thought process. The logical argument, in the logical argument, we always say that your thought process must be very clear. We also say that the clear and distinct. The thought process must be very clear and distinct. He went against the religion as well as their books. He said that a lot of jargon has been written in it. The language must be very clear and distinct so that everyone can understand. So I believed in it. So yeah, taking all this into consideration, we have come to the conclusion of the father of modern philosophy, Descartes. In the next lecture, we are going to study about Spinoza. Spinoza built upon him. So we are going to study about Spinoza, then we're going to go to Leibniz, and we're going to see how rationalism goes to empiricism and how exactly Kant came. Till then, thank you so much.